Phrasal verbs. You need to know. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Everyday English. I'm Peter, your host and friendly guide through the twists and turns of real-world English. Today's episode is all about phrasal verbs, those 2 or 3 word. Combinations like give up, look forward to, and run into that native speakers use effortlessly, but that often leave learners scratching their heads. Mastering phrasal verbs is a true game changer. It makes your English sound natural, helps you understand movies and podcasts, and opens doors to richer conversation. Over the next 20 minutes, I'll share the must-know phrasal verbs for daily life, work, and travel, sprinkle in a few personal stories of my own stumble and recover moments, and give you practical tips to lock these into your memory. So, grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's dive in. I still remember the day I first realized how crucial phrasal verbs are. I was working in London and my boss said, "Peter, can you pick up this task and hand it in by Friday?" I stared back, thinking, pick up? Did she mean lift something? And hand it in? Was I supposed to literally hand my laptop? I nodded, terrified I'd misunderstood. A few days later, she asked, "Did you get round to the Johnson report?" I swallowed. Get round to? Was it hidden somewhere? Turns out she simply meant, have you found time to complete it? In that moment, I realized that phrasal verbs are the backbone of everyday English. They convey nuance. They pack action into a phrase, and they're everywhere. From gossip, did you hear about, to instructions. Turn off the lights. Being stuck on phrasal verbs is like having a bike with square wheels. Let's smooth out those edges today. First, let's understand why phrasal verbs matter so much. English uses them where other languages might use a single verb. For example, to cancel is just cancel, but to postpone can become put off. That extra word isn't padding. It changes the register and often conveys a more conversational tone. Phrasal verbs can also carry idiomatic meanings. For instance, to break down might mean a car fails mechanically, but it can also mean you've lost control of your emotions. Learning phrasal verbs helps you think in chunks, not isolated words, which is exactly how your brain processes language in real time. If you want to sound less like a textbook and more like a native, mastering these combinations is non-negotiable. Let's kick off with some core daily use phrasal verbs you'll hear in any casual conversation. First up, wake up. Pretty straightforward. I wake up at 7 a.m. every day. But combine it with get up, and you've added nuance. I wake up at 7, but I don't get up until 7:30. See how 2 phrasal verbs describe slightly different actions. Next, eat out, which means dining at a restaurant. I love to eat out on Fridays. And then there's hang out, meaning to spend casual time with friends. Do you want to hang out this weekend? Practice those 3 today. Wake up, get up, eat out, hang out. Once they feel natural, you're ready for more. Moving on, let's explore workplace phrasal verbs, essential for meetings, emails, and team projects. When you get ahead, you make progress. I hope to get ahead at work by learning new skills. If a project falls through, it fails. Our plans for the team-building retreat fell through due to budget cuts. Follow up means to check or continue on something. I'll follow up with you next week about the report. And hand in, which tripped me up in London, simply means to submit. Please hand in your timesheets by Friday. Those 4, get ahead, fall through, follow up, hand in, will become your allies in office conversation. Now, let's dive into travel-focused phrasal verbs that will turn you into a jet-setting pro. When you check in, you register at a hotel or airport. Conversely, check out means to leave a hotel or inspect something. We'll check out of our hotel at 11 a.m. Or, I'd like to check out these sneakers. To set off is to begin a journey. We'll set off early to avoid traffic. And when you look around, you explore a place. We had an hour in Rome, so we looked around the Colosseum. 4 versatile verbs. Check in, check out, set off, look, around will give you confidence from airport to Airbnb. Of course, phrasal verbs don't always follow a pattern. Some are separable, meaning you can insert the object between the verb and the particle. Turn off the lights or turn the lights off. Others are inseparable, like run into, meaning to meet by chance. I ran into my old friend at the market. To master this, you'll need practice, but a good rule of thumb is, if the verb feels like an instruction, turn off, pick up, it's likely separable. If it feels more idiomatic, get along, run into, it's often inseparable. Keep a list and test yourself. Can I say, turn the music off, or only turn off the music? These mini-quizzes strengthen your intuition. Next, let's look at emotion and relationship phrasal verbs. Those relatable phrases that color your personal stories. You might get along with someone. I really get along with my new roommates. If you grow apart, you drift away. We used to be best friends, but we grew apart over the years. To open up, you share your feelings. It's hard for me to open up about my fears. And to cheer up, you make someone feel happier. I brought flowers to cheer up my sister. These verbs deepen your ability to discuss relationships and emotions. One of my favorite phrasal verbs is figure out. It means to understand or solve something. I need to figure out how to use this new phone. I once spent half an hour figuring out a coffee machine at a hostel, trial, error, and a lot of frantic button pushing, until I finally discovered the secret lever. Now, every time I need to solve any problem, big or small, I tell myself, time to figure it out, and I approach it step by step. Try it next time you face a challenge. Say it out loud. I'll figure out the solution by tomorrow. Those small affirmations reinforce both the phrase and your problem-solving mindset. Let's pause for an interactive exercise. Grab a piece of paper or open a note on your phone and write down 3 situations from your own life. Maybe cooking a new recipe, dealing with a tricky customer at work, or planning a weekend trip. For each scenario, pick one phrasal verb from today's list that fits, like figure out, set off, or hand in. Then write a sentence describing your scenario using that verb. For example, I need to figure out this new recipe before my friends arrive. 3 sentences, 3 verbs, 3 minutes. When you're done, read them aloud. Feel how those verbs bring your stories to life. Now, a few quick tricks to cement phrasal verbs in your memory. First, categorize them by topic: travel, work, relationships, and review one category per week. Use colored flashcards or digital cards with an example sentence on the back. Second, listen for phrasal verbs in podcasts or TV shows. Every time you catch one, pause and note. What did it mean in that context? How could I use it myself? Third, practice with a language partner. Take turns giving each other prompts, like describe your weekend plans, or explain how to solve a computer error, and challenge each other to use at least 2 phrasal verbs in your response. That peer feedback is golden. Let me share one last story. A couple of years ago, I volunteered at a music festival, running backstage errands. The stage manager yelled, "Peter, can you run through the lighting cues with the crew before show time?" At first, I panicked. I thought I'd literally have to jog through the lights, but then I realized run through means to practice or rehearse. So I gathered the team, we ran through the cues 3 times, and by showtime, we had a flawless performance. That moment taught me that even when phrasal verbs sound confusing, once you crack their meaning, they become powerful tools for precision and flair. As we near the end of today's journey, Remember that phrasal verbs are not optional extras. They're the building blocks of authentic English. They let you express actions, feelings, and nuances that single-word verbs simply can't capture. Your mission for this week is simple. Pick 5 phrasal verbs from today's episode. Maybe wake up, hang out, set off, get along with, and figure out, and weave each into a real conversation or journal entry. Notice the smiles and nods when you use them correctly. It'll feel like you've unlocked a new level of English. Thank you for tuning in to Everyday English. If you enjoyed this deep dive into phrasal verbs, please subscribe, leave us a review, and share this episode with your language learning buddies. And drop me a message or comment telling me which phrasal verb made the biggest difference for you. I'm Peter, reminding you that phrasal verbs are your passport to natural, confident English. So keep practicing, keep exploring, and I'll catch you in the next episode.